Hi, my name is Akiva Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman and Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues here in the state of Michigan. Today we're continuing our video series. The video series is designed to educate and inform the public, so of course please subscribe to our channel. Today I want to cover a little bit in a general overview of the best interest factors associated with the court. And by that I don't mean I'm going to go through all the 12 factors. These videos don't necessarily lend themselves to a format that would be that lengthy. But I want to more focus on how do you establish the factors. Well, I will tell you this. Obviously your lawyers are going to go through the factors, and when it comes time to actually have a hearing or a trial or a contested custody matter regarding where a child should live, what your lawyer is going to do is pull out the statute and go through the 12 factors and present evidence on those factors. So for example, a lot of the factors might have to do with, let's say, the moral fitness of the parties. So, for example, as one of the factors. So what does that mean? It means that if you have one person, for example, who has a history of serial extramarital relationships and the other one does not. So as you prepare to argue that factor, you're going to have to be prepared to cross-examine the other person. Your wife is on the stand. Those questions may sound something like this. Mrs. So-and-so, have you ever heard of John Smith? How do you know this person? Oh, he's a friend of mine. Is he a friend of yours? Or are you involved in an affair with him? Well, I wouldn't say an affair, blah, 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 however the answer is. And they'll say, well, isn't you on such and such date? You were seen with him in his company for the weekend at such and such lodge. Or whatever questions have to be asked to establish that there's a moral fitness compromise on one side and you don't have it on that side. Another factor of a different nature would be, who does the child look to for guidance, emotional support, and all those things? So ask the question, or the question might be asked of you. Has your child ever approached you with a problem? Have you ever dealt with school issues on behalf of the child? Have you seen to the emotional well-being of the child? Yes, I have. I take him to a therapist, and we've talked to various clergy and stuff like that to assist him with coping. I've given him certain books. I've sat down and talked to him. I've helped him solve his problems with boyfriends and girlfriends, whatever it is. So, in other words, that's how these issues, as you go through the 12 factors in determining what's in the best interest of the child, it's important to prepare cross-examination on those issues. It's important to prepare direct examination questions on those issues. And it's also important to prepare documents, to prepare proofs that might be demonstrable to the court of how those factors are met. Because in the court's mind, the court is going to go through and is obligated to go through every single factor and make a finding. The factors may go, the court may do an analysis and say, well, this is the factor, there are proofs in this regard, there are proofs in that regard. I find that this factor weighs more heavily in favor of mother or dad. One of the factors, for example, is the presence of domestic violence in the household. If mom was a victim of domestic violence in the hands of the dad, so she'll be asked, have you ever been the victim of any domestic violence? Yes, I have. Tell us about it. Blah, blah, blah. He hit me. The police were involved. Blah, this kind of thing. The court may make a finding that, in light of that favor weighs more heavily in favor of the mother. On the other hand, maybe it was a mutual affray. Maybe both were guilty of domestic violence, and the court may say, look, on the issue of domestic violence, we find that neither party has an advantage. You see that a lot. So the point is that we go factor by factor, and analyzing the factor, introduce evidence which will support the factor going in the way that supports your case. And that's what your lawyer will endeavor to do. If you have any questions about your specific item, please, of course, reach out, and we'll be glad to help you out.